Today in the Origami Dojo, we're going to be folding us some ninja knives, but this time, they're a lot easier. We're going to start with a square, cut in half diagonally. Now if you want a thicker side, you can always just fold this half behind, but for your first attempt, it's always best to start out with a thinner square. So let's get that square cut. So we'll just fold in half diagonally here. And the end result is a lot neater. So let's set that second half square aside, triangle. And if your paper has a white side, let's turn over to the white side and then fold it in half along the center crease here. Now let's unfold, and we'll take this bottom corner and fold it up to this corner here. Then we'll rotate around and do the same thing here. We'll take this corner, fold it up to that top corner. And now let's turn over, and we want it so that all three flaps are on this side. And then we're going to take this bottom edge here and fold it up to the center crease. Then we'll rotate around and do the same thing on this side. We'll take this edge and fold it up to the center crease. Then let's unfold, and we want to reverse fold inside on the creases we've already made. So let's open up this flap from behind here. Let's open up the paper, and we're going to take this valley fold and pinch it into a mountain fold. And then we'll reinforce this mountain fold here and this mountain fold here, and then close it in on the existing creases. So basically all we did was take the flap on top, like this one here, and just push it inside the model. So let's do the same thing on the top here. Let's unfold that flap, then unfold the second crease, then turn this valley fold into a mountain fold, and we can just pinch that with our fingers. And then we'll reinforce the other creases here, and then just fold it in. And we should end up with something like this. Now, let's find the side that has the two flaps, like this, and then we're just going to turn it over. Now let's take this flap here and fold it over so that it makes a crease that runs between this point and this point. So we're just going to fold over between those 2 points, and then we're going to make a slight pinch mark, but just at the center. So we'll only press down there, and then we'll unfold. And now we'll take this bottom corner here, and we'll fold it up to meet that crease that we just made, and it should intersect with the midline and that crease. So we'll grab that corner and just fold it up and crease. Then we're going to unfold, and we're going to take this edge here and fold it in to meet that center crease. And it should only be on the top layer. There are two flaps here. We just want to fold that top one up and up to the center crease, and then flatten all the way down to this flap here. And when we get this far down, we want to fold this flap back in using this horizontal crease we just made that's parallel to the midline. So we'll fold that in, and then when we flatten, we just want to find this excess paper here and just push it down like that. And this is what your end result should look like. So let's do the same thing on the other side. We'll rotate around, and we'll take this bottom point and fold it up to that center crease. Then we'll unfold, and we'll take this edge here and fold it up to the center, and again it should only be the top layer. We'll fold that in, and then just crease all the way down as far as you can under this triangular flap here. And then we'll fold that flap in on that existing crease that's parallel to the midline. And then we should end up with this 3D segment here, and we'll just push that excess paper down toward this end and flatten. So now let's start making those little curly flaps that go out from the side of the main blade. Now to do those, we're just going to turn the model over, and we're going to take this flap here and find the bottom. So it should fold out about to this point here. and we're just going to fold it out like this. And the fold should start from this point here and then just run out this way. And when we fold it, we want to make sure that this point here lines up with about the center of that flap. Now, there's no exact guideline for it, but whatever looks good to you. So, that looks fine to me, so we'll keep it that way, and just fold. And now we'll turn over and do the same thing. We're going to make a fold that extends from this point here out to the edge. And when we do it, we want to make sure that this point here ends up in the middle of that flap. And then flatten. Now what we want to do is find this little V cutout here, and we're going to make a fold that extends from the bottom point of this V all the way down to this edge here. And the fold should be parallel with the center crease and this edge here. Now there's no exact guideline, so don't worry about it lining up perfectly. But what we'll do is just find that V crease and make a fold down to the edge. And this looks like it's lining up good, so we'll just flatten. But this flap isn't going to want to lie flat, so what we want to do is just fold this flap down and narrow it a bit. And now your model should be flat, and it should look something like this. So we'll just rotate around and do the same thing on this side. We'll find this V cutout here, and then we're going to make that fold that extends all the way down to this edge, and make it parallel to the center crease and the edge here. And again, just fold it until it looks good, and then flatten all the way out to this flap here. And then this will want to become 3D, but we don't like it that way, so we'll just flatten this flap down. And that should narrow the flap roughly in half. Then let's turn over and let's start shaping. So let's start with a handle here because that's the easiest. We'll just take this tip and fold it behind a little bit. And then we're going to move out to this edge here, and we're just going to take this and then just pinch it into a mountain fold. And you can see that from behind, we're just pinching it in half. And it should be just as far down as you think looks good. Now I think it looks good if we extend it a little bit past these flaps here, like about this far. Then we're just going to push here with our thumbnail and then just squeeze it in around that. So it ends up with something like this. Now for the flaps here on the end, we're just going to also mountain fold them in half, and from behind you can see we're just squeezing them in half. And when we do that, we also just want to curl them a bit, just to give them some roundness. And of course you don't have to curl them this way, you could shape them whichever way you want, maybe curve them back up like a real sai. But to me I prefer this sort of stylized curved look. And we'll do the same thing on this side, we'll just mountain fold that flap behind, or not mountain fold it behind, but just squeeze it in half. And then curl as we go. And our easy origami sai is done. Hey guys, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed that last tutorial, please feel free to subscribe, like, share, comment, whatever. I am Sam, and I will see you next tutorial. Oh wait, we still got a few seconds yet? I really don't know what to say. I am Sam, and I want to remind you that a good origamist always knows when to fold. Oh wait, somebody already used that.